Alright, let me go get the switch. Okay, so this obviously is a switch, but so I got this case for the switch and to hold the Joy-Cons in place. Not that it doesn't hold the Joy-Cons in place, of course they do, but it's for extra protection. So mainly, this case is basically made to protect the back and of the switch and the switch controllers, and it also protects like basically all sides of the switch except for the front. The front of the screen is completely exposed, so it doesn't really protect it. It didn't come with a screen protector, which is quite surprising because usually when you order like cases for like phones or game consoles or handheld things, it comes with a screen protector, but it did not come with that. The way that this works is it's very easy to control this thing. So you can take the controllers out very easily. So it's called a dock for a reason because it's made to hold the controllers as well. So as you can see, this is what the case looks like without the Joy-Cons in it. It's very easy to pull off, just like that. And then this is what it looks like. Now, when I first got the Switch, I thought that you're supposed to put it on the front of the Switch, like this was supposed to go on the screen or something, but no. And you can see it's very flexible. You can bend it very easily. Really sturdy. And you can see that it has like the little Joy-Con holsters in it. So this is what I was doing wrong. At first I thought, oh, it goes on like this. And you're gonna look really like this is ridiculous. Like, that's not how you put it on. I mean, you could put it on like that, but it'll look really freaking stupid because that's not the way it's supposed to go on. So what I did was that I went to think back on the picture, and I see that this is actually on the back. So this is made to protect the back of the console. It's not made to protect the front. It could protect the front, but it's not made to do that. That's not how you're supposed to put it on, because the Joy-Cons are supposed to be in... Well, actually, hold on a second. Yeah, see, that would not work, because that then you're blocking the analog stick, and it just doesn't work that way. So the way to put this on is you have to have the where is it? You have to make sure that you have it facing this way where you see the little shapes at, because you access the volume button controls, power button, sleep mode. And then at the bottom you have like the little like the slot where you can charge it. And then on top it shows like the power button, volume button. Mm-hmm. So then you take both Joy-Con controllers. It's very easy to slide in because they're made for that. So you just basically slide them in just like that. and it clicks right in with no problem. Because the way that this is designed, it does stretch out a little bit, so you're going to definitely feel that when you put it in. So when you take it out and then you slide it back in until it clicks. There you go. And now if you want to take it off, you just do this and it'll pop right off. Just like that. And then the way to put this back on is you want to slide the Nintendo Switch back in and it'll click right inside. So this part is what mainly you have to get onto the Switch. It's the top part. And you have to line up the Switch Joy-Cons on both sides and on the top area to pop it in. Now, you can't just go like that. You have to, I mean, you could. I mean, you could just like push it back in. Very easy. So, it's really flexible, and it has 2 grips here, so it's made for gripping, and you don't have to worry about dropping it so much. And if it does drop, it does bounce, so if I were to drop this, it does bounce a little bit, so that's also good for this. So yeah, that's the Nintendo Switch / Joy-Con dock case. There are so many names on there, I didn't even know how to say it, but I tried. So, make sure that you have it on like this. So you have like the power button here and the volume, and you have like the fan so that it has air, and just put it in the way it's supposed to go in. Now when you play it, it's gonna feel a little funny because it has the case on it. And plus it's very bulky with the grips. So right now we're gonna go into Animal Crossing, and I'm moving just fine. So it doesn't affect the controls or anything like that. It's very easy to play in the game. Like literally, I'm doing just fine. The only part that feels funny is just the grip, because the grip is so bulky. But other than that, it feels very firm and comfortable in my hands. It's very easy to access the controls because the buttons and the analog stick are exposed completely, so they're not in the way. Like I said, it's made to protect the back and not the front. So the only parts of the Switch that are exposed are mainly the front of the Switch, which is the screen, obviously, and the analog stick and the 4 buttons on each controller, and the camera button and the home screen button. But pretty much everything else on the Switch is protected on the back and all sides, including the Switch controllers on the back. So basically, the back of the controllers and the sides of the Switch and the back of the Switch are all protected, just not the front. Now, I did want to get a skin for the Switch, but I kind of now was like, now I'm really glad that I didn't buy it, because it looks stupid. Why am I holding my phone like that? Because when I was looking up some more Google research on on a lot of Nintendo Switch skins, they look very pathetic. They are like low quality. They are terrible looking when you take them off. And they leave a lot of residue from the stickiness on your Switch, and I don't want that. Also, a lot of the time they said adhesive skin details for the Switch damage the console itself pretty badly, and I don't want to do that at all. And he also said you have to be extremely careful when it comes to the touchscreens as well, because they can interact with the sensors, and I don't want to risk that either. Because Switches, they're not cheap. I think they were like, this one I think was like $200, this one that I brought. And I was like, there's no way in hell am I gonna have $200 going down the drain. Like, I'm not doing that. And when I also was looking up other people's skins, they're not made to be permanent, and a lot of people have also complained that when you put the skins on, there's a lot of like folds or peel sections that tend to, affect the skin over time, and it gets worse, and it just kind of wears out the look of your Switch too, and it just looks horrible. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna even buy a skin. Like, they look cool, but it's not really worth it. It's really not, because a lot of people have complained that they do damage the system, and I don't want to do that with my Switch. So I have a case for it. That's mostly the most important thing to get. It's a Switch and not a freaking skin, because a Switch case is meant to protect the console. And even though this does not have a part where it's supposed to, even though it doesn't have a part to protect the front of the Switch, it's better than nothing. At least I have some protection. It's able to protect the entire back of my Switch. And I think that's perfect, because a lot of the time when we drop our phones or game consoles, a lot of the time they land on their backs. And if a back of a phone or a game console gets hit on the back of it a lot, then that's when it kind of messes up the screen, and then the screen looks all disoriented, and you have like all of these weird colored looking images on it, and that's not fun. Because when that happens, it's literally to the point where it can no longer function. Like, you're fucked. You're done. You're screwed over. Because your screen, your touch screen is messed up. Everything is screwed up. You can't even click anything, and it's terrible. So I hate it when that happens, because I've had that happen to me a few times, and it's just horrible. But I like the fact that it's so bulky on the back, and it's easy to grip. So when you drop it, it kind of just like, bounces up a little bit, so that the, Switch doesn't end up, landing on the screen itself. So I think that this is a really good case for my Switch. And it's good to protect the Joy-Cons as well. Now, if you were to actually play the type of games that require a lot of movement with your hands, like Just Dance 2020, because I play that almost all the time, you will definitely have to, I'm sure I don't have to tell you, but you're going to definitely have to remove the Switch out of the case and the consoles, because the Switch is not going to fit in the black box if you have it in the case, and you'll need to remove the Joy-Cons. And obviously you're going to have to remove the Joy-Cons when you're going to link it up to the TV, because you're going to about to play a game that's like fitness. So but other than that, this is very easy to pop on, really flexible, and it doesn't get damaged. It's very sturdy. It doesn't stay bent, and it's meant to be flexible because it's basically designed to fit the Switch. because the switch is pretty long, so it's made to be flexible like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.